feel like I'm ending a yoga class. I'm like, namaste. Hi, I'm Britt, and I'm here to talk about positive coping skills. I really believe in the importance of developing a mental health toolkit. Regardless of whether or not you live with a mental health condition, we all have mental health, and so it's really important to have a plan, a structure, a toolkit, if you will, in place for those times when we're feeling good and maybe for those times when we're feeling not so good. Sometimes when we're not feeling our best, it's easy to be tempted to turn towards a negative coping strategy, such as drugs or alcohol. It's really important to have an awareness around positive coping strategies that work for you so you can turn to the positive ones in times of need. I have a list of 5 practices that I do religiously every single day. And I think of these practices as setting me up for success because in reality is life is like a wave. It's up and it's down, and there's so much that is out of our control. But the one thing we can do to the best of our ability is control how we respond to situations. And my mental health toolkit helps me do that to the best of my ability. The first thing I do every single morning when I wake up, before I look at my phone, before I talk to anybody, before I look at a computer or read any emails, is I sit down and I meditate. I now have a practice that's 20 to 30 minutes long every single morning, and I know that can seem a bit overwhelming. Even if you were to sit down and practice for a minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes every single day, you would still see the benefits and results from meditation. It's really important to center yourself and create these spaces in your life that you can find stillness and quiet. And it's such a great tool for setting a foundation for your day. The second thing I do every single day is a journaling exercise. So after I meditate, I go and I write down in my journal that's by my bed 3 things that I'm grateful for. I really believe in the practice of actively looking for what is working in my life. It doesn't always mean that I always feel good when I do it, but when I do find the good, it seems like more good finds me. The third thing that I do is movement every single day, 30 minutes. And I love to exercise, but even if people don't love to exercise, that's okay too. I encourage you to make choices that just get you to move more. So whether it's taking the stairs over the elevator, or maybe going for an extra walk, mindful movement is so important because it helps get you out of one space and into another. The fourth thing that I do after I move is I practice acts of kindness. Not random acts of kindness, purposeful acts of kindness. Again, I really believe positive, big change happens on a micro level. You are powerful beings and are capable of making a difference within your individual communities. So actively practicing, acts of kindness such as holding a door for a stranger, maybe making eye contact with someone and simply smiling at them, or surprising somebody in line at your favorite coffee store and buying somebody a coffee. That really has a domino effect, and you never know what someone is going through, and that just may make their day. And the fifth thing that I do is kind of like a combination of all of them, and it's something I actually practice throughout my day, every day. This idea that everything that you're taking in, so everything that you're putting into your bodies, physically or metaphorically, so the food that you eat, the people that you choose to spend your time with, people you choose to follow on social media, books you read, podcasts, music, all of that you're taking in is a representation of who you're becoming. My mentor taught me this really great lesson about choosing who we choose to spend our time with and making sure that it's a wise decision. She always used the example, if we were out in the middle of the ocean in a storm in a boat, do you want 5 people who are poking holes in your boat, making it harder to row and sustain yourself, or do you want 5 people who are actually helping you row? It's just so important to remember that you can incorporate positive coping skills throughout your day, and simply taking 60 seconds by placing one hand on your heart, one hand on your lower stomach, and intentionally breathing for 1 minute will help you feel better. It may not fix the situation that you're going through, but hopefully it'll take you from up here to down here and just feel a bit better. When I don't actively practice my positive coping skills, it's easy for me to feel overwhelmed, sad and hopeless, nauseated, racing thoughts that end up debilitating me from completing tasks that need to get done. That's why it is so important for me to have an awareness around the positive coping skills, like the meditation, like the journaling, like the movement, like the kindness, because those help keep me on track and feeling like the best version of myself. These are my positive coping skills. I hope you take them and use them if they work for you, but if not, that's okay too. You have to find what resonates with you and what makes you feel the best. Thank you so much for watching. I hope something that we said really resonates with you and helps you. And don't forget, you can always find resources at NAMI.org.